My name's Austin Harsh. I started Ramblewood in the spring of 2023, I guess officially. Started writing music for it probably a year or two before that, not really knowing where it would go from there. Grew up in Central Ohio on a farm. Actually, went to Ohio State, played in a jam band there for 4 years and a year or two after I graduated. So had a lot of fun with that. And then, once COVID hit, I couldn't play in a jam band so easily anymore. So I started playing a lot more acoustic guitar, and that's how Ramblewood kind of started.
That's actually really interesting. I've seen a lot of bands got started kind of based out of COVID and being isolated. Do you think that influenced any of your music style?
Probably some, yeah, just because, all through college when I was playing with the jam band, it was so focused on us playing together as a group and being able to, like, in real time throw ideas at each other and see if someone would pick up on it and like have the music just happen naturally. Like that was the whole thing. And then when we couldn't, play for 2 or 3 hours a night, it made that tricky. So I started playing a lot more acoustic guitar, like I said, and just recording little demos on my computer in my bedroom and going from there. So it definitely influenced, like, has a little bit more of a intimate sound, a much less rock focused sound than what I probably, sorry about that,
Okay.
probably would have done if, COVID wasn't a thing at the time. She's going to keep barking until I let her in.
Okay. What's your writing process like? What inspires you? Like, does it just, are you a mood writer or do you like have to sit down and like piece things together?
It really depends. I think the most important piece is just being consistent with it. I really try to sit down, write in a journal every day. I do like little songwriting exercises every day, just so I can kind of keep flexing that muscle. It's kind of like going to the gym or whatever. The more you do it, the easier it is once something hits you to like write a coherent song. Really, my process usually starts out, I'm messing around on my guitar. I like the sound of something. I'll record it on my voice notes. And then I'll just listen to it every now and then. Like if I'm driving around, I'll put it on and like hum along, kind of find a vocal rhythm that works. And then just go from there. If words seem like they fit rhythmically, then that usually starts to influence what direction the song goes. And I can kind of come up with the direction from there. And once I have a first pass done, I try to read through and be like, think through what is this actually about and try to make a coherent storyline from that. Sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's about something I've seen or a friend is going through, and sometimes it's just a story that I think fits the sound. So it's a little bit of a lot of different styles of songwriting.
You mentioned that you play guitar. Do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, so I actually grew up playing piano. I started taking piano lessons, I think when I was like 5 or 6, and took them for probably 10, 12 years, and picked up guitar sometime sixth grade time. So what is that, 13 years old?
Yeah.
Something like that. And really mostly taught myself, took a handful of lessons here and there, but mostly taught myself. And then I started singing in college, actually. For that, you couldn't have paid me enough to sing into a microphone on stage. But
Interesting.
yeah, my band needed a singer, and I was the only one that would do it. So that's how that happened.
So I'm
Yeah,
assuming you
no,
were never, no musicals, never in choir, nothing?
no, I did the sports thing in high school, but I'd always come home and, play guitar for 2 hours or go play piano for whatever instead of doing homework. So I was always more interested in that than going and watching the game on the weekend or whatever. So I was kind of living this double life up through then. But it worked out. I'm glad I came to music in a more focused way at some point.
So, when was the first time you performed on stage then? And were you nervous? Like, do you get not stage fright, but like anxiety or whatever before going on stage?
To a certain degree, yeah. At first it was crippling. Like I started playing open mics when I was like 18 or 19 years old for the first time, and that's the first time I had ever played and sang in front of anybody. I had a few recordings that I actually watched recently of it. I was like, ooh, that's rough. Like you can hear my voice shaking and that sort of thing. But then all through college, I played house parties, bar gigs, all kinds of stuff. We played at other colleges and things like that. And being in a jam band specifically, I feel like really breaks you of that stage fright because you kind of have a loose outline of what your set's going to be, but for the most part, you're winging it. You're just making it up as you go. So you get really used to being uncomfortable and being like, I mean, any band has had a moment on stage where they go, ooh, this is not going well. But when you kind of are just shooting from the hip, you have the ability to learn how to come out of that and figure out how to save that. So now that I'm playing more structured sets where I have a pretty concrete plan, it's a lot less nerve wracking because I kind of did the hardest thing to do on stage.
Where do you draw inspiration from? Like other artists? Are there any other artists that you tend to kind of look to?
I draw inspiration. I grew up listening to a lot of like 70s and 80s rock with my parents. Um, Went through a big like alternative phase in high school, that sort of thing. Um, and then more recently, when I was getting more into like the indie folk singer songwriter side of things, I really like Mount Joy from like a more modern band sound. Um, Obviously, like being from Columbus, camp is a huge fixture in the city, especially in the scene. So yeah, and then going back 70s, like America, Ventura Highways is one of my favorite songs ever. I love those harmonized guitar lines they would play in the 70s and just how everything just fits together. Like that 70s rock vibe, especially like the stuff coming out of California then, is just such a good feeling.
If you could collaborate with any artist on a song, whether that would be a writing process, just having a verse on it, who would it be?
That's a great question. I really think, I mean, really any Mabel, you're being terrible. Come here. Just sit here and let me pet you. Stop barking at me. Um, sorry about this. This is
It's all good.
your editor is going to have such a good time with those barks. As far as modern artists, obviously like the big indie folk artists right now would be huge. Writing something or releasing something with like Mount Joy or like Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Huge Madison Cunningham fan. Revolver's one of my favorite albums right now. The way she plays guitar is just so unique and cool. So I know that's not like one, but as far as modern artists playing right now, I'd say they'd be people where like if I had that opportunity, I'd freak out.
So what about a dream tour? If you could like pick bands to like that would open for you or that you would open for, who would it be?
It'd be so cool to like, I mean, if we're going mega bands, like being on a tour with Hosier or something like that, he's honestly probably been the biggest influence on my songwriting itself. I remember when I was trying to figure out how to write songs, I listened to his first album on repeat. I had a little notebook for every song where I'd like go through how he structured the verses and chorus and like how he arranged the different instruments, just trying to figure out how the heck he made it sound like that. So I guess if we're going mega artists, probably opening for Hosier, but you know, you got to be pretty successful before you get that opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna change the dream collab. Past artists, alive or dead, current, past, who would it be?
Hmm. Eric Clapton would be cool. He's still alive, but like he doesn't really release that much music. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Another guy who's just his songwriting, his guitar playing, insane.
So for new Ramblewood fans, what would you recommend they start listening with?
Yeah, so I just released the Wonder EP, which is I know every artist says, but their new stuff's their favorite, but I think it's my best stuff I've written. But one of the things that I've really tried to do is make experiences for people, not just like have them go to Spotify and be like, oh, that's kind of a cool song. So, what I spent a lot of time last year doing in between the first batch of 5 songs and the Wonder EP is creating this behind the scenes experience for people where they can go into the first EP is called the Rambler EP, and you get you sign up. I send you a CD, a sticker pack, and you can get other stuff too once you click on through. And you get an email every day with like a behind the scenes story and like behind the lyrics and a video of me playing acoustic or like a live video of it. Um, and I think that's really the best way to dive into it. And if you're trying to find a new artist to get into or figure out if it's something you kind of vibe with or connect with, I think that's the best way to do it.
That's really interesting. I don't think I've seen the CD and sticker pack, but I haven't seen like the behind the scenes type of
Yeah.
idea. If you could give your fans a name, what would it be?
I think I'm leaning into the whole Rambler thing. So I think I'd call them Ramblers.
So, do you have any upcoming performances that you'd like to plug?
I don't know exactly when this is coming out, but on September 13th, I'm going to be playing an acoustic show in Dayton at the South Park Tavern. On the 21st, I'll be opening for King Coyote in Newport, Kentucky. The 27th, I'll be at Coda, Cleveland, playing a acoustic set. And then in October, on the 17th, I'll be playing a full band set at Yellow Cab in Dayton.
And then if you just want to like list off what your social media is, where people can find you.
So Instagram's ramblewood.music and my TikTok is ramblewood music, all
Okay.
one string. And my Facebook is Ramblewood Music too.
Thank you so much for doing this. Really
No
appreciate
worries.
it.